think I forgot. Yeah, but I think that is it. So we have the import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, then import numpy as np, then converting the coordinates to I think I should also indicate this. Convert the coordinates into, and here is, yeah, that is x point and the y point, and then we do the visualization. And after running this program, I think now you are able to see that we have plotted a line. This is just a simple line, a simple plot, and you can see that our line is starting from that is 0 0 at point 0 0. Yeah, we have at point 0 0 2. It's running up to where we have 6 250, or up to this point where we have 250. So I don't know if there is any question concerning this plot. Do you have any question? Any question? Who thinks we should repeat that? Okay, thumbs up if we are together. Yeah, I can see most of us are okay with it. So that is basically that. This is just a simple visualization. If you check this plot, it lacks so many things. It lacks labels. It lacks headings. Yeah. You might want to customize the colors of these, right? So now we are going to learn all that process of customizing, having these labels. We call them labels. That is from the heading, the labeling of x and y axis, having maybe something like something else we call a legend, just to explain your graph. So those are some of the things that you are going to, by the end of today's lecture, you should be able to create a nice plot. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. But before we get into that, so let's see. Where is this? Just a minute. So I want someone to draw for me this. I want to give you a task here. I don't know who is ready for it. It's just something around plotting. Who will volunteer to do this one? It's just a simple plot. I think you can have a lady and a gentleman to do it. So we are going to have gentlemen do this. That is plotting a line of these coordinates. That is 1 1 3 to 8 10. And then we are going to have ladies work on these. That is now different coordinates. I think I'll just change that to something else. So who is ready for it? I think we can just start with let's start with men. Who is ready to do this? You can just raise up your hand. I can see you have a volunteer here. That is Rodavan Musembi. So, Musembi, are you able to share your screen with us?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, share. Okay, ladies, also has Rodavan works on this. So get ready for the next one.
So, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
So, the first step is to import the Matplotlib. So, what we do, import
Yeah.
Matplotlib.
Maybe you can try to zoom a little bit for the rest to see. Just try to zoom. Yeah, up to that. Yeah, I think that's okay.
So, you insert the Matplotlib,
Yeah.
Matplotlib, and then dot. You insert the, what is it called? Here. The .py since you say they work together, right?
Yes, it's a sub module.
Yeah, .py
Yes.
and then dot plt, right?
Is it dot or us? It's an us.
Yes, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yes, plt,
Yeah.
and then since we also import the numpy, import numpy s np, and then that's the first step to import the libraries.
Yes.
And then now we go to the next step. So I have not seen the coordinates which you had given.
I think I can just tell you that the first coordinate is let me just read for you. The first coordinate is 1 3, then 8 10. 1 3,
3,
yeah.
yeah.
And then we have 8 10. Those are the coordinates.
So now we go to the next step. Just a minute. You said 8 10.
Yes, I said 8 10. And before even we proceed, okay,
Yeah.
who thinks Rodovan has made a mistake? Okay, can you just okay, I need you to, you see, before X points, I want you to write a comment there. You can just start with hash, then the parentheses, those brackets, those, no, the other ones. Yes.
Yeah.
Just write 1 3, comma 3,
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Close that, and then write a comma, then open another bracket, write 8 10. Yeah, so those are the coordinates that we are using. So I want someone to tell us. I want someone to correct you on that, because I can see you have this 1 3 and 8 10 is your okay. Who thinks Radovan is wrong somewhere?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay. Help.
you, you see the first meaning, the first code 1 3, that is XY, then 8 10, that is also XY. So for us to say the X points, it's 1 8, then the Y point is 3 10.
Yeah. Got it. 1, 8,
Yeah.
and then 3, 10, right? 3.
Yes. Then we have
Is
3,
it
10.
1, 8, and
Yeah.
then 3, 10?
Yes. I think now you got that road one.
Yeah.
And also the
Perfect.
rest. You can see where you can simply make a mistake on converting that into ND arrays. So after that,
So then we go to now the visualization. So the visualization, say
yeah,
the PLT
yeah,
dot, the PLT dot, is it the plot?
yes,
PLT dot plot,
yeah,
PLT dot plot,
yeah.
and then we want to plot the X, oh sorry, X, we start with the X points, right?
Yes.
X points, and then the Y points, Y points, and then now we go to the next step where we want to like the printing. So where we use the plot dot show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So and then we can run this, right?
Yeah. Just run it.
Okay. I think it will run. Here it is.
Yeah, you have it. Yeah, that is 1, 3,
Yeah.
and then we have 8, 10.
8, 8, 10.
Yeah. That is it. Yeah. Okay, let's clap for Rodovan. Yeah. So let's now have a lady. Let's have a lady who will work on the next one. You can just raise up your hand if you are ready for the next. You must be a lady. Hey ladies, don't you have ladies in the class? Who will volunteer? Ladies, mnatuangusha. Who is willing to work on this now? I think you can have different coordinates here. I think you can work on, let's work on this. Let's have someone work on this. That is 10 and some, that is 20 and let's have what? I think we can have it's up to something like 24 and maybe 40. So I let it work on this. Here are the coordinates. All chords. So we are plotting a line, by the way. We need to plot a line for this. So ladies, we're waiting for you. Someone to volunteer? Lodovan, your mic is on. You can just wait. Yeah. Ladies, Mombi, are you in position to plot this? We have Kezia also, we have Lynette, we have Charlotte, Harriet, we have grays. Okay, let me see. And we have lean. Who is willing to help the ladies? No one? Okay, I think I don't know why you ladies you don't want to show us your skills. Okay, let's have a gentleman help them with these coordinates. That is 1020 and 2440. We have Stella. Stella was saying that she can try it, but I think she has a problem with network. But I think we can just have a gentleman help them. Okay, who is willing to help them? Apart from Rodvan. To say whether are you in position to help the ladies?
Basically, I don't have lights. My laptop is not on, but I can use Radovan. I can give the instruction.
Okay. Let me just share my screen. Let me resume this. Are you guys able to see my screen? Let's start presenting. Present something else. Are you able to see my screen? I think it should be visible. Yeah. So to be there, let's have a clean cell here. So it just take us through that process. Where do we start?
So the first process is to import Matplotlib. So you say import Matplotlib.
Just a minute. Yes, we import Matplotlib.
Py py plot as plt.
Okay, already we have these. Let's just delete that. Then
the second process is to import NumPy. So to read as the coordinates.
Yes.
So we say import NumPy as NP.
Yeah.
Then now to visualize our coordinates, so we start the x point. So we start x point is equals to
We have x point is equals to
np dot array. So
np dot array.
yeah. So we'll have our first point. So which points are used? Is it 2440 or can you help with the points again?
Okay,
The points.
let me show you the points. They are here. That is, I just picked random points. So just a minute. That is from this. We have this. Yeah, that is 1020
And so
and
as
24
always,
and 2440.
so as you say, the x as always x comes first.
Yeah.
And the y comes first. The y comes second. So on the first bracket, we take the first one as x. So we have 10.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll take the first on the other bracket, which is 20.
24. It's 24.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah.
Then we'll have our y points.
That is y point is equals to
np dot array.
Yeah. Then we have this. Even it's auto completing for you. That is the PLT.
Yeah. It's go to
I
the
think that
middle.
is it. So let's just run this and see what we have. Yeah, I think also we have another line here. We have another plot here. Yeah, I think that is it. Thank you. Tuze Bida. I think we can as well clap for Tuze Bida uh, for helping the ladies in the house. Thank you. So let's proceed to the next part. Now that you guys know how to plot these lines, let's see what else we should add in these plots. And we said that we can start with the labels. That is there is no graph without labels, right? So we must have the x labels and y labels, and we have functions to help us with that as well. So we are going to check. We are going to check those. We are going to check those functions and how they are used, so that at least we can add, so that at least we can label our x and our y-axis, right? So then we are going to see. We can just start with let's start with labeling. So in labeling, we have something we call the X label. How is this? Let me check this. Yeah, we have the labels. Let's check the matplot labels and title. And we are saying that to create a label for the plot, uh, with the pie plot, you can use the X label and Y label function to set the label for your X and Y axis. So you just have like to invoke the X label and Y label functions for you to label your graph. I think you can just move with a different example here. But I'm just going to copy this to save on time. So let me just uncomment this. And you can start with the import numpy as np, and then we import the matplotlib.pyplot as plt. And then we are trying to create some ND arrays here. That is for X points and Y points. I'm just labeling them as X and Y. So you can see we have a number of points in the X axis, and we have a number of Y points in the Y axis. So after this, we just have to if I was just like to comment out these and run these, you notice that we have a graph without the X labels and Y labels. And also you notice that we don't have a title, right? So I want to show you how you can add now the X label and Y label. Uh, so with this graph we have, I understand that these values represent the average at which we are burning calories. So it's kind of we are recording um, that is the average pass and the calories burnage uh, at each average pass. So let's see how we can add an X label, and we invoke X label from the PLT. So we have plt.x label, and then we just pass the you notice that the X label we are passing this parameter as a string. So it's average pass. And if we just happen to run these, we should be able now to have labeled our x-axis as average pass. That is based on how you want to label your graph. In this case, we are labeling it as average pass. Then we have the y label. When we run these, we should see some changes on the y axis, and now you can see that our y-axis is labeled. So now with this graph, at least now you're able to see that on the y-axis we have the calorie burnage, and on the x-axis we have the average, the average pass. So I think now this graph is I think is starting out to make uh, it's, becoming meaningful rather than having just a line without any like this one. If you are not maybe to explain this graph, you couldn't maybe even understand what is going on here. It's just a line. It's not labeled. But now with this one, at least we're able to see that on the y-axis we have the calorie burnage, and I don't know, x-axis we have the average pass. So the next thing that we should now learn is how to put a title on this graph. Oops. Shit. Just a minute. Working on my internet here. Just a minute, please. Okay, so someone to confirm that you're able to hear me from your end. Yeah, I think we had some issues with internet here. So good. So let me share my screen again. Okay, someone to confirm that you're able to see my screen. Good. So I was saying that now what is left for this graph is now just the title for it. So again, we can add a title on this, and now let's see how you can go how you can add that title on that graph. So we have another function that is called title. That is what I want to take you through here. Let me just show you that very fast. So you notice here we have the plt.title, and we are calling that graph that is sport watch. That is sport watch data. So we can as well as add this very fast. It's just a plt. Let's see. It's just a plt dot title. Another function plt dot dot title, and then we have the sport watch data. So let's see these. And I can see we have a problem here. I don't know what is the issue. Let me see. I think I have a typo here. It should be title. So let me run these. And now you can see that our graph has a title. So that is the sport watch data. That is maybe you can add something like visualization. That is for this case. Let's wait for it to run. Oops, I don't know why it is taking so much time. Excuse me, just a minute. Okay, this website is down. The issue with this Wi-Fi. Again, I don't know what is the issue with the Wi-Fi today, but let me just share my screen. I think the internet today is not, it's not stable at our place, but let's see what we can do. Are you guys able to hear me from your end? Are you able to hear me? So someone to confirm? Oh, okay. I think internet today has decided to misbehave. So I was saying, I think I can just run through this and see. We see how you can add a title. Let's see that, and now you see that we have a sport watch data visualization as our title. So with the titles and label, the X and Y labels, you can customize these. Maybe you can put some for the title. You can maybe have it as bold. You can change the color. You can also change the font. There is so many things that you can do with these labels, and also even the title. So you can customize them. You can customize them. I think as we go on, we are going to see how maybe you can make the heading bold, and even change the color for the heading. But basically, that is how you can add next label, Y label, and title in your graph. I don't know if there is any question concerning that. Okay, thumbs up if you are good. Okay. So basically, that is how you can add that is a title X and Y label. So there is something else that is also basic. Maybe you might want to make these graph to have grid. That is the grid squares. So again, we have a function that supports that. So it's called the plt dot grid. And even maybe you run these again, you should be able to see that your graph has changed to now grid. So meaning that you have a grid square here in your graph. So those are the basics for creating just a simple plot. So let's move on to the next thing and see what maybe we can add in those graphs. What next here? Let's see. So I think you have checked on how to add a grid lines in your plot by using the grid function. You might as well want to display multiple plots in your graph. So we have another function that is called subplot. It's a subplot function that will help you to draw more than one graph in one figure. So let's see how we can achieve that. And I'm just going to use these ND arrays. I think I can just copy these and explain what is going on here. I think I can as well as explain it without running it. So we have the first plot, that is the X and Y. And for the X, we have some values again. We have the 0 to 3, and then for Y, we have values that is 3, 8, 1, 10. So these are the values for the first plot. Then with subplot, you must you must do what? You must define the position that you want this plot one to be. And now we do it in this subplot. That is the subplot function. And you can see here we are indicating 1, 2, 1, and then we continue to now to plot. So let's see what these 1, 2 means in our graph here. And we say that the figure has one row and 2 columns. Why 2 columns? It's because now we are going to have like now we are going to have 2 plots that is on one row, but they are going to be in different columns. That is why we are defining this one as 2, and then we set the position. Then we are going to set the position of that plot. And you notice that the first plot we wanted to appear on the left. That is as the first plot. That is why we are indicating this one as 1. So the second plot again will be on the same axis. That is 1, 2, And then, but now in this case, we are going to have it at position 2. Let's run this uh, and see this one in this example. So I can just comment this and run it. And now you can see that we have two plots here. We have the first plot, which is this one, that is x, np, dot array, then we just pass some values, and then y, we have also its values, and then we are stating the position. We are stating the position of the first plot. That is 1, meaning that we have one row, and you can see that we have just one row, but now we are going to have two columns. This is the first column, and this is the second column. That is why we are saying that this one is 2. We are going to have two columns, and now we state the position of the first plot. Maybe we interchange this, maybe this one to 2, and then maybe this one to 1. Let's see what happens with that. And now you can see that we have interchanged this, because now the first plot goes to column 2, and the second plot goes to the first column. So basically, that is how you can create two plots in the same diagram. So any question on that? Yeah, I want to be a bit fast because I want us to finish up on Matplotlib today. So I think that is it with two plots. And what you should remember in the subplot is just the subplot a function, and now the position. If at all maybe you want three plots in the same row, it's just allowed like to indicate you want three plots in the second position here. That is one row. Then we have two plots, and then you set the position of each plot. So I think that is it with that. I don't have to explain further with that. And again, you can have now the you can have now the you can have now the title. You can include the x labels and y labels for each case. So that one now depends on you. Maybe something to mention on when it comes to the titles of each plot here. We have something that we call the super title. The super title will be the title for the entire plot, but you can have something we call you can just use the title for each plot, but we use the sub title function to include the maybe you can just try to add that and see how it works. So I think you can just copy that, and try to add it here so that you can see it in action. So if I happen to add the super title, if I happen to run this, you can see that we have the super title for this. Let me run that. So after this, now you can have the titles for each graph. So with that, you can maybe add something like that is the plt plt dot title here. You can call that income. And we can call this what? Let's see what we can add here. There is a plt dot title. Let's call this sales. If you run these, you notice that now we have, let me see this. We have the titles for both, for both titles. That is the sales and the income. But I think I pressed this one at the wrong place. Let me see this. This one should come here. Oops. Just a minute. Now that is the plot one. We have it. It should be just below this. That is for the plot one title, and for the plot two title. So that is how you can add the titles for both plots, and have a super title for the super title for the two plots, or or three plots, or four plots, depending on what you are trying to visualize. So after that, I want us to check a number of graphs that you can draw, and we are going to start with a scatter plot. Scatter plots. I think you guys know what scatter plots are. Yeah, that is now from I don't know if you did scatter plots on Excel, but you must be familiar with the scatter plot. And we can just draw scatter plot for what? Like we're going to have a data set here. Well, maybe let's just use the arrays here. We can just use the ND arrays to simplify it. So, and for scatter plot, we have a function. In fact, with the matplotlib.pyplot, again, it's very rich in this method, in these functions. You notice that everything is a function. Everything is a function. Like now we have a function to draw the scatter plot. It's called scatter. So with this one, you just have like to define your x and y values, and then you just have to invoke the plt dot scatter, and then you just pass the xy values. So I think I can just maybe show you that. It's nothing complicated with these, but let's just have a simple scatter here. So for those of us who are not familiar with the scatter, these are just the scatter plot. This is an example of a scatter plot. Just indicate the points that we have here. That is for x, y, x, y, x, y, x, y, for the whole arrays. So these are just an example of a scatter plot. So again, you can add the x label, the y label, you can add a title, but you notice with this case, we are not doing any analysis. I'm just showing you how you can draw various visuals. We are going to get to a point where we are going to determine, maybe in a certain analysis, we use various visuals. I think you learned that in Excel as well. But for these, just showing you how you can draw different visuals. That is all about the scatter plot. And then after the scatter plot, there is another plot that is very familiar, that is very popular when it comes to analysis, and these are the bars, creating bars. Again, we have a function that is called the bar function to draw the bar graphs. And I think you can just have an example here very fast. Let me just copy these. I think I had prepared some code here just to show you how you can create a bar. So you can see in this case we have our x values as a, they are strings. This one is an array of strings, that is a, b, c, d. And then we have the values here on the y-axis. So you notice that you can just draw a very nice bar using the plt.bar, where you're passing just the xy, and then you have your bar graphs here. So basically, this is how you draw a bar graph. You can also add the titles. I think I've shown you how to do that. The x and y labels. Then you will be good to go. So let's check another plot. And the other plot that I would like us to check, maybe on the bar, you can as well as have horizontal. You notice by this bar, by default, it will give you a vertical. They are vertical bar graphs, right? But you can have horizontal bars. We use something we call the bar h function, this one. So if you were to change, let me just show you that. If you were to change this one to something like bar h, let me show you this. Let's just change this one to the bar h here. And now you notice that we have horizontal bars. So you can either use the vertical ones based on what you are visualizing, or you can have vertical bars. Then after that, I think the other visual that I would like us to check is something we call the pie chart. Also, not before the pie chart, let's check how you can create a histogram. Because you understand that when you are doing analysis, you might want to check the frequency distribution of your data. And again, now we have a function that is called hist, and with the hist function, you're able to create a histogram just to visualize the frequency distribution of your data. So with this one, I think we can just try to create just some random values. Instead of hard coding values, I think you can just create some random values here. And with these values, you are going to create, we have an example here where we are saying that, say you ask for the height of 250 people, you might end up with a histogram like the one we are going to draw. And for you now to create, maybe let's say maybe you want to create what? To create some random values. We have a function that is called random in Python. That is now this is just a basics of Python. We have a function that is called random that will help us to create 250 random values. So what we do is we just like have to tell that when we are creating, we're just going like to pass the standard deviation that we want for that data, and then the data points that you want, and then even you can indicate where we want our point to concentrate. like in this case, we want our data to concentrate on 170. So meaning that we are going to have values within the range of 170 to 179. So let's see how we can do that. And even now try to create some histogram on that. Maybe I can just copy this very fast. Let me just copy this very fast and explain what is happening here. So the first thing is that we are going to have to import the Matplotlib for visualization, and then we must have this numpy as np, because again you can see that it is in this numpy that we have this. We are going to invoke this method that is called random, and then in the random we have the normal, so it's random dot normal, and then we pass the area that we want our data to concentrate. We pass the standard deviation and the number of points that we want to generate. So I think I can just try to print. Let me just try and print x before we do anything else. Let me just dot. Let me just print the x so that you can see the values that we are generating. So you can see that we have generated, these are 250 values that we have generated randomly. And if you were to check these data, most of the values are going to concentrate around what? That is from 170 to 179. If you were to check these clearly. So after now doing this, we might want to check how this data is distributed now using a histogram. That is why we are using the PLT now. That is the plt.hist, and then we pass in our data, and then we show these. So let's see how our data is distributed. And now you can see that the highest bar here, or the highest category here, it is at 170, meaning that our data is concentrated more. We have about 50 values. I think 50. We have about 50 values that are around 170, right? So if you maybe want to change this one to 100, let's say maybe you want to change this one to 100, you notice that the highest bar here will shift to where we have 100. Let's see that. And now you can see that the highest bar is somewhere at 100, somewhere that is from 100 to somewhere 110. You can note that again our data is concentrated at or our values are concentrated around 100, right? And the standard deviation of again 10 and 250 values. You can generate up to maybe 1,000 values, but in this case we just want let's just try to generate maybe 1,000 values and see if that change. No, it doesn't change. We still have our values concentrated around 100. So this is just a sample of a histogram. This is how we create the histogram in Python. That is anytime we are doing analysis. What is, I think now the next plot here that we should maybe check very fast is something that is commonly used is the pie chart. And with pie chart, we have another method that is called pie, just to create your pie chart. So with this one, you just have like to have, we can just create just a simple pie You can create a simple pie chart, and then with the pie chart you can add labels. I think you can just let's create the one with the labels here, so that I can explain what is happening here. Uh, Let me just uncomment all these. So this is also always the first step, import. And then after that, we have our y values here. We have, that is 35, 25, 25, and then 15. And then if you are just to, let me just comment out the labels here. Let me just even edit this. We just happen to run these. We are going to have a pie chart that doesn't have labels. So meaning it's just a chart. But for you now to maybe now to know this one is apple, this one is orange, this one is uh, cherries, this one is dates. Then you notice that we add in some labels. And now you notice that with other chart we are using the X and Y labels. But with pie charts, it's quite different. It's quite different on how we do the labels. Because you notice that we need to in this one we need to label each sector. So meaning that you're just going to to define your labels. In this case, we have 35 represent apples, 25 represent banana, we have 25 again representing the cherries, and we have 15 represented dates. So when you are doing the plot here, the plt dot pi, we have to pass another parameter here that is called now the label. The label, yeah, the labels. And now in this one, we are going to pass our labels here. That is oops, these labels is equals to I thought this one must be a string, so let's pass our my labels. So let's run these. Oops. So let me just run this. And now you notice that we have the labels of each sector. We have the apples, we have the dates, we have the cherries, and the bananas. But still, you can still add the, let's say maybe the title for these. We can have plt dot title. Let's add plt dot title, and then we can call it fruits. It's just a repetition of what we have been doing. So you notice now that we have the title is fruits, and then we have our sectors, our sectors labeled. So basically, that is how you can do the labeling in in a pie chart. So any question up to that point? You can just raise up your hand if you have any question. That is no regarding pi. We have covered pi, we have covered the histogram, we have covered line graphs. Any question? By the way, you should also check. I'll share with you the link for the Matplotlib documentation, because we have so many methods here on how you can customize you can customize these graphs. That is not during the analysis. There is so many functions to to customize these graphs. I'm just giving them in their basic form, because you can see this one, like in this one, you're using just the default color. You might want to use you customize these, use the different color. You might want this one also to look different. Yeah, so I'll share with you the link, because we cannot like cover everything here. I think the essence here is to learn how to do it, and then you guys are going to learn more on the documentation on how you can customize all these. So I think that is I think there is something else that we should cover here with pie chart, something that we call explode. And with something we call this, we call something this thing that we are calling explode. Mostly is used when you want a certain sector maybe to stand out. So you notice that you can achieve that using the explode. We have something we call the explode function, where you're going like to pass the some parameters in the explode, um, for you now to have maybe a certain sector stand out. I think you guys have seen that in pie charts. Let me just show you an example here. I think with an example, you guys you're going to understand this better. So I think up to this point we are together, the labels, and then we have the explode here. So let's run this and see what happens. This is what we are calling explode. Having a sector of your pie chart stand out. This is what we are calling explode. So you just have to define some values here. Maybe you can try and customize these. Maybe let's add that 8. And now you notice that that one will affect the distance between the distance from the center of the main pie chart to with our explode here. So you can put it something like maybe 0.1 is okay. Yeah, I think this one makes sense. You can also add shadow to these. There is a way you can add shadow to these. Let's see that. There is a function that is why I'm saying that I'll share with you the documentation for this Matplotlib, so that at least you can create some visualization that looks appealing. So with the shadow, you just have to say shadow. You just have to set shadow to true. I hope I'm getting this right. It's supposed to be shadow, not shadow. And now you can see that our pie chart has changed. Now it has shadow that is on the edges. You can see these. I think you guys are able to notice the shadow. That you just have like to set the shadow to true. That is the parameter that you use for adding a shadow in your pie chart. So thumbs up if you are together up to that point. Yeah, I think there is a. Is it a question from Radovan?
Can you customize the this pie chart to be like a 3D pie chart?
A 3D pie chart. Yes, you can. That is why I'm saying that. I'm just covering the basics. There is so much you can do with Matplotlib. There is so much you can do with Matplotlib, and you're going to see it in the. You're going to see it in the documentation. Like you notice by adding shadow here, this pie chart is just like let me see this. Yes, yes. By adding shadow here in these, you cannot compare these. You cannot compare these to this one. I think this one looks more real compared to this. And that is why I'm saying there is so much to learn on. There is so much to learn on these visuals. So after this, I'll share the documentation link for this. Another question that is Harriet Apondi.
Good evening.
Good evening, too.
Is there a way that we can download the, like, for example, the pie chart?
You download the pie chart.
Yeah. So like maybe
Like saving it.
yeah, yeah.
You notice that in most cases, when you are doing analysis, let's say maybe we are checking the health record data.
Yeah.
So you notice that after making these visualizations, you must accompany that with your code. So meaning that what you are going to do after doing the whole analysis, uh, you can save this one as a you can save this one as a you can save this one as an image, because you must when you are doing maybe the reporting, you must include your code and a report, right? So with this one, I'll show you how you can save this one as an image. Maybe now to add in the report that you are going to do after now the whole analysis, right? I think that is something that we are going to see. Is it okay, Harriet?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. You're going to see how you can save this one as an image, by the way. What else should we check? Any other question before we proceed? Okay, if you don't have any other question, then let's proceed to. I think I've shown you how you can add a shadow. You can also modify the colors. You can see how we are doing some colors here. You can let's say maybe for if you want to put the colors for your fruits. You can say maybe for apples. I don't know which color. I don't know. Okay, we can have apples. Let's say with the apples we can have something like color. I don't know which color to use for apples. But let's just use black. I don't know if we have black, but I think we have green apples. Let's use the green apples. You can use yellow for bananas, and then for cherries maybe you can use something like blue. No, I think red. Cherries the color is red, and then dates. I don't know. You can just use maybe a different color for these. We can just use maybe black. So with this one now, you're able to change the colors for these sectors. Like for banana, I think for banana they are okay, but you can maybe change this one to yellow. You can change apples to green, cherries to red, and dates to something blue. So what you're going to do, you are going to create a list of colors. Let me show you that. Where is this? We are going to create a list of colors here. That is green, yellow, red, black. Like you can run these. Let's run these and see what happens. Um, yeah, there is so much you can do with this Matplotlib. There are so many functions. Like you can see now, we're able to change the colors for these fruits. Like for the apple, you see we have the green apples. For the bananas, we have the yellow color. Cherries, I think they are red, and they are black. Just by creating a list of colors and passing that one as a parameter here. That is colors is equals to parameters. So meaning that we can customize these to our liking. So I don't know. I think that's all with pie charts. But before we call off this meeting, there is also something that is called legend. And the legend, let me just copy this. I think with an example, you're going to get this first. This is what we are calling a legend. You might fail to add these labels here, but now work with oops. Let me just remove the labels part. What is happening here? Legend. Just a minute. Let me see these. So you can include a legend, but now the work that I'm giving you is how you can change the position of these. Change the position of these to just check how you can change the position of this legend to either left, right, at the bottom left or the bottom right. You just after I share with you the documentation, just check how you can move this one to avoid uh, to avoid it hanging it on the chart. So this is what we call a legend. So you can see also we have another function here that is called the legend. Also you can there are parameters that you can pass here for you to customize this legend. Maybe you change its color and also change its position. So I think that's all about the Matplotlib. It's basically for visualization. And you have seen how you can create different types of plot. You can see even with the legend, you can add a header. That is a header for these ones. But you're going to use a header if you don't want to include the labels here, right? So you guys, I want you to figure out how you can change the position of these. Uh, you can change the position of these after I share with you the documentation for that. So any question? I think I was too fast, but at least we have covered a lot about Matplotlib today. So it's a plus. So any question?